Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers as they take on Dak Prescott and the defending NFC East champs, the Dallas Cowboys. Kickoff now just moments away. It is finally time to crown a champion as I'll hand it over to the two men who will call the action, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. We are honored to be here for the biggest spectacle in sports, the Super Bowl. Are you ready, partner?
I am more than ready, and I love the word you used. Honored, because it is an honor to be here. It's a privilege to be here. My excitement is just about to burst through the booth. I can't wait to do this.
Well, and sitting with both of these teams and talking in the meetings and media day and all the hoopla that goes into this, there was one common theme. They're ready to stop the talking and start playing football.
Yeah, they were probably ready a while ago. Now they can just focus on it. It's done. The only talking they have to worry about now is post-game, and they hope that they'll be talking as the winning team.
And we'll see. You know, both sides come in with a game plan to start. We'll see how the adjustments are made throughout, because there are always adjustments in this game.
I want to see if they come out conservative, trying to minimize errors, or if they have enough confidence to attack early and try and take advantage of the other team's nervousness.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will hand to counter. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Sean Lee is a linebacker with an exciting mix of tackling ability and coverage skills.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check it backer.
Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
No score after one on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's it, baby.
Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
The Steelers call here on the Aussie, Australian-born Jordan Berry now to punt this one away. Back deep is Tavon Austin. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys under head coach Jason Garrett as they get set for their first opportunity. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Well, using Zeke Elliott in the passing game, that's something Cowboy fans are getting used to. Last year, 77 receptions. And you think back to his rookie season, he had 32 and then 26 his second year. But he's really on the uptick. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
First down. First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw, Prescott. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott, he'll buy some time right and avoids the contact by sliding. 7 yards there and a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open, so it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Prescott on first down. Rolling to his right, and he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. To throw again on second down, Prescott. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. So we've come upon halftime in the big one. So the halftime show in the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Here's Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's good for 28 yards. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Elliott. And he's got some space here. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, first down. Back now here on EA Sports as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. From the red zone now, Prescott. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Illegal touching.
Well, let's see who this is on. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. The kick by Marr is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
After the made field goal, Marr back out there to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Big Ben and the Steelers now down 3-0. A little over 80 ticks to go. They need at least a field goal to send this Super Bowl to overtime as they come up on first down. Roethlisberger to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Big Ben has the knowledge, certainly the weapons to pull this off. We know he's done it many times in the past.
And that transmits itself to the rest of the offensive unit because these guys know that with Big Ben leading them, they've got a lot of confidence they can get it done.
Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big play. Smith-Schuster on the throw from Big Ben. 47 yards. Very much in range for a tying field goal as they hurry to the line. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. This will be caught inside the 10. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run here with Connor, and he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This to potentially send us to overtime. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something down.
Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick 6 or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only one period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He wasn't able to really get anything going in regulation. Maybe it'll be a little different story here in overtime.
And it appears that with that call, they want to establish the run in overtime, try and set the tone for what they're going to get done. And you're right, maybe it didn't work so well in regulation. Overtime could be the charm. And by the way, yards count either way.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Here comes a big one now in overtime. This is 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it without it. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
All day, dog.
Now it's the Florida Atlantic alum. This is Alfred Morris. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. And they need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Here comes the first throw in OT for Prescott. And that is incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
It was once the ultimate of rarities, but we've got it again. Overtime to decide the world title, and here we go. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And now this throw complete to Washington. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To throw here, Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in a position where you know you're going to at least get 3 and keep this game going. If you get 6, so much the better.
7 yards there and a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Let's go, deep, tighten up.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. To the right side and complete to Washington. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Ready? Black 20. Mike 54. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. They win the Super Bowl. The Pittsburgh Steelers have won the Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the Steel City. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because